Good afternoon, I'm Joe Lewisell, and I'll be recapping college ball, NFL ball today with my teams as well. First, we're going to start out with Michigan. Let's recap Michigan versus Iowa. Michigan 27, Iowa 14. Big road win. Don't care how bad Iowa is. That's still a big win. On the road, first road test for JJ. I think JJ looked pretty good. Didn't turn the ball over. He played very mistake-free football. Corum and Edwards with a big game. Just absolutely slashed that Iowa defense. I mean, man, oh man. I did not expect them to run all over them like that. But, you know, big win on the road. Defense, gotta be honest with you guys, I'm not impressed with our defense this year. Don't let the stats fool you. Iowa's offense sucks. And they moved the ball decently on us in the fourth quarter. And our defense, I think, is schematically not great. We get burned too much on those over-the-middle routes. It's definitely going to be harder when we play Ohio State, in Michigan State, for the defensive side of the ball. That's for sure. But anyway, I think the defense looked okay. What scares me is we do not get pressure on the quarterback, and that's a problem. I mean, if we're going to roll out against Penn State and Michigan State and Ohio State without getting pressure on the quarterbacks, that is going to be a big problem for us. Even Illinois has a good offense, and so does Nebraska. Their offense isn't bad either. But anyway, big road win. JJ, A-. He played as well as he could. Run game, A+. O-line, A+. Receivers, B. Defense, I would give a B-. I mean, they played well, but again, it's Iowa. Iowa's offense is brutal. The problem with the defenses is that not getting pressure on the quarterback is why I give the defense a B-. The defense is going to have to take a step forward. Otherwise, we are in trouble. Now, let's do the outlook. Guys, I'm going to say this, and I could be totally wrong. This could be one of my worst takes ever. But the Big Ten, let's be honest, the only game Michigan should have problems with is Ohio State. The Big Ten this year is Michigan and Ohio State and nobody else. I mean, let's be honest. Both teams will be 11-0 when they meet off on November 26th. I mean, just look at the conference. And it's Michigan, OSU, and who else? I mean, State sucks. Wisconsin fired Chris. They suck. Nebraska sucks. IU sucks. Purdue sucks. Maryland's okay, but not on Michigan and OSU's level, even though they did come to our house and played us very close, moved the ball really well on us. And I just want to address something about what people are saying in the college football world. People are saying that Michigan and Ohio State fans are not putting enough respect on Penn State. I'm going to answer this, and Penn State fan, you don't have to like it. All you Franklin lovers, you can turn off this video if this triggers you. Penn State hasn't beat anyone good. Now, I'm not saying Michigan has either, or Ohio State has either. But let's take a look at each of the three teams. Let's rank the starting quarterbacks for each three teams between Stroud, McCarthy, and Clifford. Who has the best quarterback of these three teams? I'd say Stroud is 1, McCarthy's 2, and Clifford's 3. Fair? Head coach. Day 1, Harbaugh 2, Franklin 3. Running game. Michigan 1. OSU 2. Penn State 3. I know Penn State's got Singleton at really good back, but I'd put Henderson a sliver ahead of Singleton. But Michigan run game 1. Offensive line. Michigan, Ohio State, Penn State. Right? Wide receivers. Ohio State, Michigan, Penn State. Defense. See, this is hard. I'm going to put OSU 1, Penn State 2, Michigan 3. I'm sorry, guys. I just don't think our pass rush is good enough. And when we played a functional offense in Maryland, they moved the ball well on us. We really barely got pressure on Tula. Okay. So, Penn State only wins in one of those categories I just mentioned. And James Franklin never beats good road teams. They never beat top 10 road teams. Not saying Michigan does either, but the game against Penn State's at Michigan. Penn State always lays an egg when they come to Ann Arbor. Always. Always. Third of all, Michigan does not lose at home to teams not named Michigan State and Ohio State under Harbaugh. Michigan State and Ohio State are the only two teams that have come into the Big House and beaten Harbaugh. I'm not going to count Wisconsin or Penn State in 20 because the pandemic year was an asterisk. We were all having problems that year. The world was just a complete clusterfuck, and there were more important things in the world that year than college football. So, sorry, Penn State and Wisconsin fan, not going to count that. Just like I don't count any of Michigan wins. 2020 was just an asterisk. And so, I don't know, man. It's Michigan, OSU, and everyone else. Penn State, James Franklin is a fraud of a coach. I mean, look, I don't care that they beat a shitty Purdue team and a shitty Auburn team. No one cares. They suck. Auburn sucks. Call me when the only way I will respect Penn State is if they beat one of Michigan or OSU. That's it. I'm sorry, but, you know, for Penn State, it's about beating Michigan and Ohio State and Michigan State. No one cares what you do out of conference. Those 3 games are what define their season. Same for Michigan. Michigan State, Penn State, and Ohio State define our season. No one cares what we did early on except in those 3 games. Like, there's been years Harbaugh could go 10-2 this year, and if the losses are to Michigan State and Ohio State, that's a failure season. I mean, beating your rivals is so important in college football that I just don't see any other way around it. And Franklin doesn't. We've seen Penn State start off hot before and then collapse. Franklin has to earn my trust, and they do not get my respect until they beat either one of Michigan or Ohio State. That's the deal. And until then, they are not in our class. So that's my Michigan review. So now, let's talk about the game, Michigan-Ohio State. Is JJ improved enough to go on the road and beat Ohio State? If the game were today, Vegas has Michigan as a 2-touchdown dog. Guys, I'm going to keep it real simple with you. If Michigan can't get pressure on quarterbacks of Maryland and Iowa, they're sure as hell not going to get pressure on C.J. Stroud. If we can't stop Maryland or Iowa, we're not stopping OSU. I think this defense is broken. I just think Ohio State is motivated. They're going to score 50. The question is, can Michigan score 50 plus? The answer is no. I don't think the offense has gotten to that step yet. I like JJ. I think he's played smart football. But offense is going to need to take a couple more steps before I'm ready to put him on the same level as OSU's. I don't think we'd lose by 14, but I don't think we'd beat Ohio State. Only because I think their offense is way ahead of us and their defense is better than ours. I just don't think this defense is very good. And I'm still worried about Michigan State. Look, I know they suck, but Michigan State always brings their A game against Michigan. Always. It doesn't matter what the records are. I've seen plenty of good Michigan teams get challenged or in some cases lose to bad MSU teams. Never take that game for granted. That's all Michigan State has to play for is the Michigan game. It's all they have to play for. Nothing else they do in their season matters. Nothing. The Michigan game is the only game they care about. Gotta win that game. I'm not going to freak out about the Penn State game. Like I said, Franklin has yet to show me he's capable of beating Michigan on the road. So until he does that, I'm not going to sweat and worry like some people are. Penn State fans, don't respect you guys yet. Just don't. Another thing I want to bring up is Mel Tucker in Michigan State before I get to my Week 4 takeaways. I'm going to defend you, Sparty. I'm not going to defend Mel Tucker, but I'm going to defend you from the evil, corrupt college football media. Or just the media in general. Look, do I think Tucker has failed? I shouldn't say failed. I think he's been underwhelming. Do I think he should get $9.5 million? Absolutely not. Do I think this season's been a disaster? I absolutely do. But there's another guy that's getting paid the same amount as Mel Tucker and sucks probably even worse. Why is no one talking about Jimbo Fisher? Why? He spent all offseason chirping at Saban and paying for the highest paid recruiting class in college football just to go out and lose to Appalachian State and Mississippi State. Jimbo Fisher is supposed to be this offensive guru. Newsflash, your offensive scheme fucking sucks. You don't have a quarterback. Max Johnson is one of the worst quarterbacks in college football. You don't have quarterbacks. You don't have an offense. You paid the highest amount in NIL money for the #1 recruiting class, and you're going to be 8-4. Oh, and by the way, you talk shit about Alabama was making fun of you for your class, and Alabama was accusing you of doing this. Newsflash, A&M fans, Alabama is going to run it in fucking dry on you. They're going to jail sex you guys. that you will be jail sexed. That game will be 40-point deficit. You guys are going to get a big spoonful coming your way. Shut the fuck up. You're nothing special. All I heard was A&M fans were like, we can compete with Bama. We're going to be this. I'm excited for Texas to join. Hey, newsflash, Aggie fan. And on Unnecessary Roughness, there's a podcast called Unnecessary Roughness. Miss Aggie fan talking shit about Michigan's schedule. Newsflash. Rules of life. Number one rule of life. Don't shit on others if your own house is a fucking mess. A&M fan, you suck. You suck. You have no right to criticize Michigan's schedule when you can't even beat Appalachian State and Mississippi State. And you just didn't lose to Mississippi State. You got absolutely blown off the field. Number one recruiting class. Guess what? It doesn't matter because you guys suck. Michigan was oppressing their players from NIL money until we got a new president. You guys had every advantage and you still suck. You can't even beat App State or Mississippi State. And Alabama is going to take you to the wood chipper and run it in dry on you. I mean, it is going to be a massacre on live television. That game won't even be worth watching. I don't want to ever hear you guys talk shit about Michigan again until your own house is in order, because your house is a pigsty. Hey, have we played a lot of good teams? No. But guess what? We're 5-0. We don't have the number one recruiting class to just go 8-4. Jimbo Fisher is a fraud. He's always been a fraud. He had one good year where he won the Natty at Florida State in 2013 with Jameis Winston. Ever since Jameis Winston, he is a fraud. Okay? Period. End the story. Amen. So, while I agree Mel Tucker's been doing bad this year, Jimbo Fisher just deserves some of that same criticism. And look, I hate MSU and I love it when they lose, but A&M fan in Unnecessary Roughness, stop shitting on MSU. Your house sucks too. Your team blows too. You both suck. Period. End of story. Jimbo is lousy. Lousy. At least for Mel Tucker, he still needs time to get his guys in, and at least they had a good year last year. You suck. Okay? Stop. Alabama is going to run it in dry on you guys. Okay? Just don't even show up to Tuscaloosa Saturday. You're wasting everyone's time, and you're going to waste 3 hours of your fans' life by putting that garbage product on the field. Stop. Okay? Just stop. You suck. Okay? Period. I don't want to hear anything about Michigan's schedule again from an A&M fan. The only people that should be criticizing Michigan's schedule are teams that actually win and teams that actually have their shit in order. An A&M fan, you don't. Okay? Michigan should be punished. You know what? You guys should be punished too. You guys should be punished for allowing your fans and having them spend their money on your garbage product. You are wasting people's time with that shit. Okay? Stop. Just stop. Okay? Stop. A&M fan, stop. Okay? Your coach is a lousy bum. He has no scheme. He doesn't change a thing. He runs the same goddamn offense he ran at Florida State with Jameis Winston. Newsflash, Max Johnson is nowhere even close to Jameis Winston. Not even close. So anyway, that's my A&M rant. And again, you want to shit talk Michigan schedule. You want to say we don't play anyone. Fair, we don't. I agree. Our schedule was lousy and I don't accept it or condone it. But what I don't want to hear is fans of teams whose house is not in order to be talking shit about ours. You pay your coach just as much as Mel Tucker for what? For what exactly? You're wasting your money, okay? You are wasting your money. You might as well take all that money and just throw it in the garbage disposal because it's wasteful. Absolutely wasteful. Oh my God. So, let's go with the, Week 5 overreactions. And look, guys, I'm sorry that I've been so dull in this video. You know, I gotta prepare better as a YouTuber. I gotta prepare. And be better at my videos. Overreactions. I just mentioned it. First one is $9 million for Jimbo Fisher and Tucker. Why are they getting $9 million? I have no idea. I think last year State panicked. They thought they had this gem for a coach, and I still think he can be good. I just think that they jumped the gun too early. But Jimbo making $9 million, no idea. Jimbo Fisher is the biggest fraud in the game right now. Jimbo Fisher is the most overrated coach in college football right now. Him and James Franklin, absolutely embarrassing, overrated. Next one, TCU will win the Big 12. Overreaction or not? Honestly, I don't think that's an overreaction. I think the Big 12 is anyone's game this year. I could see TCU winning it. I mean, not a lot of great teams there. I think it will come down to TCU or Oklahoma State, but I don't think it's an overreaction. I think they could. I think TCU will win it. That's not an overreaction. I could see that happening. Next one is Paul Chryst firing was justified. Overreaction. Or not. Absolutely overreaction. Wisconsin should not have fired Paul Chryst. I mean, the dude has won a lot of games there. He's been there 8 years. He has more wins than Harbaugh. Now, granted, it's an easier division, but I think Wisconsin made a huge mistake by firing Paul Chryst. And I just don't know what they expect more. Like, what do they expect they're going to get better at? I mean, I think that was a big mistake. Next one is Kirk Ferentz must retire. Agree. Kirk Ferentz is outdated. And Iowa will be schematically broken until he retires. So yeah. That's Week 5 overreactions. Now let's move on to the NFL. My Detroit Lions. Defense. Wake the fuck up. Okay? Aaron Glenn, wake up. This defense is so fucking atrocious. We have the worst defense in the league, but the best offense in the league. I can't ask anything more from Jared Goff. I mean, I really can't, man. He's played great football. Yes, I like Jared Goff better than Stafford. Sorry, all you Stafford sexuals. Don't care. Not gonna ride his dick anymore. Okay? I'm a Lions fan, okay? I love my team more than I love an ex-player. Sorry, not sorry. And by the way, Rams look pathetic Monday night. So, take that and shove it up your ass. Campbell, wake up. Guys, I'm not sold Dan Campbell is the right coach for this team. Dan Campbell is a hype man, and that's it. I mean, dude, change your defense. Okay? I can't watch this crap anymore. Geno Smith came into our house. Jail sucks us. You didn't even force a fucking punt. Not one punt to one of the worst offenses in the league. Not one punt. I'll tell you what. I'll tell you what, man. They should have drafted Jordan Davis instead of J-Mo. Look, I think J-Mo will be good, but offense has been playing just fine without J-Mo. Jordan Davis would have made this defense better. Look, man, I said that on draft night. Sorry, but no disrespect to J-Mo. What more can the offense do? I mean, and so there's this one friend I have who said that he wouldn't trade Jameson Williams for Micah Parsons. And I literally just shaked my goddamn head. Like, you know Parsons is one of the best linebackers in football, right? And you wouldn't trade for him? Are you kidding me? Oh, just draft linebackers in the draft. Okay, well, who'd we draft? Rodrigo is nice, but again, he's a 6th-round pick. Not going to rely on my 6th-round pick to lead my defense, okay? Just not going to do it. And Hutchinson's been a bust so far for 4 weeks. Not saying he can get better, or not saying he will get worse. I'm just saying that for the first 4 weeks, dude hasn't showed up. That's just the facts. And look, I think the offense is really, really good. I think the Lions have to win Sunday or Dan Campbell's in trouble. And I could expect some defensive changes. I mean, Aaron Glenn, your house is a disaster. Get it fixed now. If we could just have a middle-of-the-road defense, this team would be a Super Bowl team. No, that's not hyperbole. If the Lions had a top 16 defense, this team would make the Super Bowl. I'm convinced. But defense, once again, selling the bag. Didn't do anything to improve in the offseason. I mean, Hutch was a nice pick, but again, hasn't showed up first 4 weeks. Had one really good half against a terrible Washington team. But I'm not going to sit here and say he's had a good year. I'd be lying to you. And sorry, guys, my allergies are acting up like a lot. So let's do the NFL week 4 overreactions. Eight-minute read. The Saints were... this game's how overreactions are reality. The Saints were a double doink away from saving their season. Overreaction or reality? Overreaction. The Saints were never going to make the playoffs this year. Their quarterback situation with Jameis Winston and Taysom Hill is absolutely brutal. And Andy Dalton, I mean, that's one of probably the worst quarterback rooms in the league. So, no, the Saints season was never even started. They were never making the playoffs this year. Atlanta can make the playoffs behind its rushing attack. Overreaction or reality? Overreaction. Atlanta is not making the playoffs this year. Cordell Patterson's nice, but Atlanta just has way too many holes, I think. The Ravens are choking away the AFC North. Overreaction or reality? Overreaction. The AFC North is all kind of just a clusterfuck of a division this year. A lot of evenly matched teams. So I think the Ravens can still win it. But if you mean choking away, should they be 4-0? Yeah, they've choked some questionable games. That's for sure. Dallas can win the NFC East if Cooper Rush starts the next 2 weeks. Overreaction or reality? Overreaction. And look, I think Cooper Rush has had a great year, but I think this is Philly's division. I mean, Philly is world beaters. No disrespect to Dallas. Well, I just think that is Philadelphia's division to lose. Geno Smith is the Seahawks starting quarterback for the whole year. Overreaction or reality? Reality. I mean, say what you want about him. He's actually not. He's had a better season than Russell Wilson has. But he'll definitely start the whole year, man. For sure. Justin Herbert will survive behind the Chargers' offensive line. Overreaction or reality? Reality. He survived last year. I think he'll be fine this year. He's a really tough quarterback. I expect him to hang in there and take the Chargers far. The Colts can't win games unless Jonathan Taylor shows up. Overreaction or reality? Reality. Jonathan Taylor is the heart and soul of that Indianapolis Colts team. He has to show up and be able to run the football. The Colts will go as far as Jonathan Taylor can take them. Saquon Barkley is the best running back in football. Overreaction or reality? I'm going to say reality. Derrick Henry's not healthy this year. I mean, he's played well the last couple games, but he's not 100%. Taylor struggled this year. So, yeah, right now I'd say Barkley's the best running back in football. Miles Sanders deserves to get paid this offseason. Reality. Miles Sanders is a critical piece of that Philadelphia offense. He's not talked about that much because of Hurts and Smith and Brown, but Sanders deserves to get paid. The Steelers could go back to Mitch Trubisky. Overreaction or reality? Overreaction. This is Kenny Pickett's team. I mean, they tried the Trubisky experiment. It failed. But Matt Canada's got to wake up as an OC. I do not think he's a good OC. Baker Mayfield needs to be benched. Overreaction or reality? Overreaction. The question should be, or what should happen, is Matt Rule needs to be fired. Matt Rule is a terrible head football coach. It's not Baker. It's Rule. Do I think Baker could be better? Sure. But Matt Rule is an absolute clusterfuck of a head coach. The Packers are the best team in the NFC. Overreaction or reality? Overreaction. Absolutely not. This is Philly's conference. Green Bay has not looked good at all this year. I mean, Rodgers has looked better, but that defense, man, not great. I don't think that O-line's great. Nah, Green Bay has to show me they can win in the playoffs before I anoint them the best team in the NFC. Absolute overreaction. Josh McDaniels needs to go to his star players more. Overreaction or reality? Reality. Josh Jacobs and Devontae Adams are really good assets of that Raiders team. Got to get them involved more. The Chiefs are the best team in the AFC. Overreaction or reality? Reality. Guys, Patrick Mahomes is unfucking real. I'm going to say yes, they are the best team in the AFC. I think Buffalo struggled a little bit, but Buffalo's a good team. I just think that Mahomes is so good, I just don't see how the Chiefs get beaten. Well, guys, that is my video for today. Please like and subscribe. And I'm sorry for all my weirdness. I love y'all, and may God bless you.